it's Teapot, and I'm currently in my villager trading hall slash iron golem farm. I've got a zombie in this middle area, and he's got different little areas where villagers can see him and get panicked, and then they talk to each other. They agree that this is the time that they need to get a golem out. A golem generates, but all of these bins are only 2.5 tall, which means that the iron golems will suffocate in this space. And after waiting for them to suffocate, which takes a while, I get some iron and some roses, or poppies. That's what they're called nowadays, poppies. So it works for its function. I've also been digging up a room down here. I haven't finished the ceiling in here, but I will finish tiling it up. But I'm going to be setting up some farms in here because today we're going to delve into redstone. Of course, since I'm going to be talking about redstone, I actually need to go and get some redstone, and that's up here in our precious items level. So I'll go in here, and I don't have very much redstone, so I'm going to have to be judicious with its use. Let's go ahead and convert all of that to dust. So I've got 36 and a bit. So there are some things that I'm going to have to craft, and in order to craft them, I'm going to need wood. So I've got some stripped dark oak logs. So let's go ahead and clean out my inventory. I have just too much stuff in my inventory right now. I should have planned ahead a little bit better. But this is what happens when life comes at you. All right, so I'm going to need some sticks. So in order to get some sticks, I'm going to need some planks. So I'm going to get some planks. I'm going to make some sticks. And with these sticks, I'm going to make some redstone dust and sticks to make some redstone torches. So I'm going to need some redstone torches. And I'm also going to need some redstone repeaters. For that, I'm going to need some smooth stone. So I'm going to go upstairs and get some smooth stone. Got everything nice and labeled and kind of sorted. It's just not all on the same level because every level is kind of treated as a monument. Probably should do something about these roses. I really don't need 7 roses. So let's go ahead and go back down to where we were. What I can do is I can take the dust that we have and create some redstone repeaters. It's going to use 2 torches and a redstone dust to make them. So now I've got some redstone repeaters. Something else that I'm going to want to do is to make some pistons. I think I need a little bit more wood for that, so let me go ahead and get that taken care of. So now I can make some pistons. So I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of pistons. And I'm going to need to, oh, I still have some coal here. We'll put that away. Let's dump the rotten flesh on the floor and put the coal away. And so we'll talk about what we're going to do for our first farm. See, my villagers are nice and asleep. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clear off part of a wall in here, and I guess we can go ahead and start with this wall over here. And I'm going to take this area over here and I'm going to make some water here. So I'm going to put a bucket of water there, and it's going to push things around a bit. I do have another bucket of water, which I'm going to put here. And then I'm going to take some of this, where is it? Thought I had some dripstone. Let's go ahead and get some dripstone real quick while we're here. This is why you plan ahead your farms. I knew I was going to do a farm and I thought I had everything I needed, and turns out I just didn't. I can go ahead and get some dripstone. I only need 3, so let me go ahead and get 3. And I'm going to, I'll leave this shovel behind, because inventory management is not a thing in this game. So what I will do in this little area right here is I will put dripstone here, here, and here, and that will actually make that 3 wide infinite spring. And what I can do is I can clear this area out, and I can put some dripstone up here. And of course, because I've got dripstone blocks and water directly above it, these will drip, and these will actually start to form stalagmites and stalactites. So now what I can do is I can kind of dig behind. As long as I don't dig up above this 3 level, I should be able to set it so that I can set up pistons that push up. When these have grown, I can just push a button and the pistons will push out. So let's go ahead and set up the pistons that I'm going to want. So where are my pistons? I feel like I just had them in my inventory. I only have 2. I'm going to need to make a 3rd piston. But I want 3 pistons here. Let me make a 3rd piston. I'm short wood. And I'm going to be short a repeater, so let's go ahead and make some more redstone torches, which I need. That gives me 1 more repeater. So now what can happen here is I'm going to have these 3 pistons. No, I don't want that. I want a piston. Did I not make a piston? I didn't make a piston. All right, so let's make the piston here. And then what I can do without a pick so I can set up some cobblestone back here. Good, didn't need that in my space at all. I go ahead and, where's my pickaxe? Here it is. What I can do is just cover this area up. And I'll put a torch. I'll put a torch over here. Then what I'll do is I will make it so that I'll push a button on the other side of this wall. The redstone dust will be here, and then these redstone repeaters will take the redstone dust and make sure that it powers these pistons. So now what I should be able to do, so this is where my redstone dust is going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put some stone here, andesite. Andesite looks good. And then I need a button. In order to get a button, I'm going to need a little bit more stone. Let me put polished andesite. That looks better. Do I have a button? Yes. So I can go ahead and make a button. So what should happen is now I push that, these pistons will extract. And so what will happen is as these things drip and go down, eventually they'll go down far enough that all I need to do is just push the button and the pistons will go out. Now, unfortunately, this piston is not going out, and that's because this needs to be a little bit farther out. Let's go ahead and take care of that. And this needs to go, no, needs to go over this. Now I'll fill all this in a bit. But now I can actually make sure all that gets pushed into the buttons, and now all the pistons should trigger. Excellent. All right, so then all I need to do now is kind of tidy this up. This was all nice polished granite, so I really should kind of continue with that theme. So let's go ahead and do that. Where'd my pickaxe go? It's here. There we go. Then I'll make the floor in here work as well, and then I'll just need to fill in this area so it's not as messy. Actually, I think that's about as good as I can get that. So let's go ahead and get that polished. Okay, so I'm just a little bit short, but I can clean that up. And so now what I've got is I've got the rudimentary farm for getting some dripstone. So that's our first of these farms. I'm going to go clear off my inventory. This is kind of a mess. The next thing I want to do actually takes me back to this area. This is an area that I found an underground ruined portal, but when I was excavating it, I actually found quite a bit of lava. And so, where did I put it? Yeah, over here. You can see that I kind of set the lava off to the side over here. There was a lot of lava. So I want to go in here and I want to actually take 3 buckets of lava for our next farm that we're going to be talking about. I'm going to not have it directly on my hotbar, and I'm going to go back up to our base, which was actually down this tunnel. But this will take us back to our base. And we can actually make our second farm. This one's not necessarily going to be using redstone, but it will use some of this iron that we've got from our iron farm. And that is, we're going to be using dripstone to harvest some extra lava. Now, of course, what's really nice is I've got all of these furnaces over here, and although I do have a bit of coal, it would be nice if I had something that was a little bit more longer lasting, and lava will burn 100 items, so actually smelt 100 items in those furnaces. So I can go ahead and kind of finish up this area. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. What I can do next is I can go over here and kind of excavate the same way that I did before, making a little recess in here. And what I'm going to want are some cauldrons. So I'm actually going to go over here and I'm going to use some of my iron to make 3 cauldrons. Just want 3. There we go, 3 cauldrons here. And I'll go ahead and set these 3 cauldrons down. And the idea is that I'm going to have lava dripping down into this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an area up here, and I'm going to have the lava coming down from here. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up a little carefully. 5, 6, 7, and 8. So the idea is that I want to put some dripstone there, and then I can put the lava here. And then I put dripstone here, and I want to put some lava there, and then hopefully not die. Let's see what I can do to make this go a little bit easier. Can I do this? Not close enough, and I don't want to get much closer. I can do that and that. Almost there. Trying to find a way to get where I want without dying horribly in lava. There we go. So now the lava is kind of isolated. I am curious if I put that in the correct spot or if I put it in the wrong spot. I want to have it there, and that is in the right spot. So I should be able to do this. Let's try and find a way to get the angle correct on here. I want the lava to be up there. There we go. And then I want dripstone right there. And now I can take care of this, this, and this, and I can see that there's clearly dripstone lava dripping from all of these surfaces, I believe. And just to make this pretty, I'm going to go ahead and put that there. But then I want to make sure that I have these pointed dripstones underneath so that the lava will actually go down into each of those cauldrons. And now the way that I've got this set up is lava will go into those cauldrons, and eventually these cauldrons will fill up with lava. And so, no, that's not what I wanted. Let's go ahead and take care of that and put the polished granite underneath. So now I've got a lava farm. And as you can see over here where I had the dripstone coming down, you can see that that dripstone's already started to make a stalactite. Stalagmites might fall into stalactites. I don't remember the difference between these, honestly. But the idea is that when enough dripping has happened that they join, I can press this button. All those pistons will pop open and they'll push everything out of the way. Eventually, these buckets will fill with lava, and then I will have some extra lava aside from those buckets that I kind of have off in that that far off area. So that's the first of our two little farms that we've got here. But I was thinking about having this room kind of be a farming area where we're just going to have some extra farms to help us with the stuff that, as long as we're in this building, as long as we're doing stuff around here, we might as well, let stuff happen kind of automatically in the background that we can leverage to make our life easier. Let's see. So they should be talking, and I should have a iron golem pop up sooner or later. Does anyone have a good reason why sometimes they'll suffocate when it's 2.5 tall and sometimes it won't? Just very unpredictable. I've gathered a few materials while I was looking, and my farms have started to produce a little bit. You can see that this has actually come down to the point where if I push this block, it actually will break off that drip leaf. So now I do actually have a drip leaf in my inventory. Also, if you come over here, you can see that 2 of these cauldrons have filled with lava. So I could actually start harvesting that, and it actually works pretty quickly. Now there's a third farm that I'm going to build over here, and this one is going to be allow me to grow some sugar cane inside, but I kind of want to do the same thing that I did before and automate the process. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a button that's going to push some pistons that I'm going to put right here. So I'm going to go ahead and get my pistons in order. Created 3 of them. Where did I put them? They're in my inventory right there. Nope, not there. There and there. I'm actually going to knock these 3 down and fill them with a soil. So I've got coarse dirt, which I'm going to put down here. And then right here, I'm going to put some water down. Now, of course, I can just put 1 bucket of water down here, a second bucket of water here, and that'll actually create an infinite stream of water. So now I've got a place where I can refill my buckets. And what's really nice is that I could actually break that and actually could put a half slab here, and then I have access to that when I've actually built this up. So that's an option that we can take care of. Now I could do that here, or what I can do is I can go ahead and take this coarse dirt, put a bucket here to make this another infinite supply. I can put the bucket there to make it an infinite supply, and put the dirt here. And that way all of this is just going to go 1 level closer. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get some cobblestone. Do have cobblestone? Yes, I do. So I'm going to go and put some cobblestone here on top of the water, so that'll preserve that water for me. I'm going to go ahead and put my pistons back up here. And then same idea as before. Same idea as before. I'm going to want to put redstone repeaters back here to make sure that these pistons get powered. So I'm going to go ahead and set up some blocks here, here, and here. I'm going to go ahead and set up my repeaters here, here, and here. And then I'm going to have to try and make do with this dust, which is going to have to go. I have to figure out something to do with this dust, because otherwise I'm actually running short on dust. I don't have enough dust to complete this farm. This is something I'm going to have to figure out. I'm going to go ahead and throw a torch there. I do need this to be cobblestoney, because I do need to bring the redstone dust up. So what I need to do is I need to find some way to get power to this, which basically means I need to find some way to get the dust up to this point so that I can put, no, not you, so I can put a button up here on this polished andesite and use that to kind of get my stuff to grow. So I'm going to go ahead and put put my sugar cane on the ground. It'll stay because I've got water behind there. And then what I can do is, let me go ahead and put, can't quite reach it. Let me go ahead and put this here, and then I can put some along this wall right here. Actually, I don't want to do it there, actually, just this. That way, this will never grow taller than 3. It'll go up to here, and then I'll be able to push a magic button, and this magic button is going to allow me to get the pistons to all fire. But I'm out of redstone. I'm going to have to do some mining off screen to take care of that, so I will do that at some point in the future.